Mr. Man, Little Miss, Happy Eid by Roger Hargreaves. It was the time of Ramadan, and Mr. Greedy's friend Alina was fasting. For a whole month, she could only eat before the sun rose in the morning and after the sunset in the evening. It was a quite challenge for Alina. Mind you, not half the challenge it would have been for Mr. Greedy. He could not have lasted a whole day without a meal. In fact, Mr. Greedy found it hard to last a whole hour without something to eat. Now, it was very nearly the end of Ramadan, and Alina was excited at the thought of celebrating Eid al-Fitr, when everyone will break their fast with a huge feast. A bit like Mr. Greedy's fast-breaking breakfast he had every morning. Mind you, Mr. Greedy spent a lot of time fast-breaking. He was even up in the middle of the night for a midnight snack. Mr. Greedy was not the only person up at the midnight. Little Miss Inventor was out with her telescope looking at the stars and the moon in the night sky. The timing of the Eid festival is determined by the rising of the new moon. The days before Eid were spent cleaning and decorating everyone's home for the festival. Mr. Rush had promised to help Alina clean her house. But there was a problem, and that problem was Mr. Rush. He was in such a rush, he only half finished his jobs. He half mopped the floor, and Mr. Bump slipped over. And he knocked over the bucket Mr. Rush had left out. Splash! So when Mr. Rush announced that he had to rush off before they were finished, Alina was really rather grateful, which left Alina with Mr. Bump, who said he would hang the decoration. But every time he climbed the step ladder, he fell off. Bump, bump, bump. Poor Mr. Bump. Alina decided that he should hold the ladder instead, while she hung the decoration. Ramadan was a time for generosity, and Alina had organized for everyone to donate something to the local children's football club. The football club received all sorts of useful things like football shirts and balls and goal posts. However, I'm not sure what they are going to do with Mr. Silly's donation. Before Eid began, Alina and Little Miss Sunshine drew intricate henna mehndi patterns on each other. Little Miss Naughty offered to help, but wisely Alina said no. Little Miss Scatterbrain was not so wise. Finally, the day of the Eid feast dawned, and everyone got dressed in their best and smartest clothes. Alina put on her new dress. Mr. Funny wore his best shoes. Little Miss Scatterbrain chose her shiniest saucepan. Little Miss Splendid wore her most splendid hat. Mr. Nonsense brought out his special occasions gloves, and Mr. Greedy wore his biggest napkin. Everyone arrived at Alina's for the feast. Ramadan, like Christmas, was a time for presents, and they had all brought gifts for each other. Little Miss Sunshine had brought some flowers. Mr. Mean gave Mr. Sneeze a tissue, just the one. Mr. Funny gave Little Miss Giggles a joke book, and Little Miss Scary gave Alina a cuckoo clock, a lovely looking clock, until it struck the hour. And then everyone sat down for lunch, a feast of a lunch. They had each brought a dish that they had made. The table was laden with plates of delicious food. It was a wonderful assortment of flavors and aromas and different styles. Little Miss Dotty has brought her specialty, cottage pie and custard. The Eid festival was also a time to settle arguments. It was a time to forgive. Little Miss Naughty had a lot to be forgiven for, and a lot of apologies to make. So many naughty tricks and mischievous pranks. It was going to be a long afternoon. And then they all went out to enjoy the Eid fair in town, where everyone greeted each other with cries of Eid Mubarak. Little Miss Hug rushed around hugging everyone except for Mr. Sneeze, who was reacting to all the aromas in the air. Achoo! I don't think Mr. Mince one tissue will do the job. They bought a selection of sweets from a stall, baklava and halva and Turkish delight, Mr. Greedy's favorite and Little Miss Greedy's favorite. In fact, everyone's favorite. They ate the delicious treats while they watched a show. And then it was the big final of the night. The sky was filled with fireworks. Rockets whizzed and banged overhead. Catherine wheels screamed and crackled, and the sparkles fizzed and well sparkled. It had been a wonderful celebration, and now it was time to go home to bed. Everyone was full and happy. The presents had been given, the fireworks had been fired, and there was nothing left of the enormous feast. That huge spread of food had all been eaten. Or had it? There was one dish left. Can you guess which one? That's right, Little Miss Dotty's cottage pie and custard. Not even Mr. Greedy was tempted by that. The end.